The first step in finding the right person for you actually begins well before you even start asking for a CV. Sometimes it's really difficult to understand what type of person you are looking for and what kind of skills they need. So a really great way to do that is to take a spreadsheet or a piece of paper and write down all the different tasks that you've done in the last couple of weeks.
In this lesson, we're going to use our templates. You might get super excited about just going and writing a PD, but let's slow it right down to start.
So you'll start by writing down everything that you do and then rate what you like and what you don't like. Sometimes it's easy to forget about stuff that you did yesterday and last week, so what you could do is go back through your calendar and have a look at what you were physically doing and where you were. That helps you get back into that mindset of where you were that day, the types of things you were doing, and also think about the stuff that keeps you up at night, because they're usually the things that you're not doing. I need to pay payroll, I'm uncomfortable with Xero. Those are the things that are going to be your weakness. Take some time to think about which ones do you really love doing, which do you really hate doing, and give yourself a score between 1 and 10. So 10 would be love, 1 would be hate. Then in the next column, think about the types of things that you're good at and bad at. And again, 1 to 10, 10 you're great at, 1 you're bad at. So it could be that you absolutely love doing finance, but you're really terrible at it. So you find that mostly you get really high or really low scores. And the bunch of average stuff is usually stuff that you just have to do as part of doing your business. If you don't know you're a control freak, this exercise will help you find out. You'll tend to find that your own bias of how much you love or hate it will force your scores. They try and control everything and want to do everything and mark themselves up on everything being awesome at it. Or they're the opposite and they've marked themselves down and said they're not very good at anything. That can just be as bad as each other. And maybe then you need to ask somebody else to help you go through the exercise and give you some honest feedback about whether you really are good at that or not. There might just be some things you can't give up simply because it's your brand or your personal thing that you add to the business. So if you are a TV presenter, clearly you can't give up TV presenting. But generally, if we're just running a software company, you know that you can probably give up everything if you wanted to. There's nothing sacred.
When I first did this process, I found it really interesting because as a founder, you realize just how big the problem you're dealing with, and you start to get an understanding of the shape of the organization.
When it's finished, it looks like just a whole list of disparate tasks. And so it can be hard to see the wood for the trees. So mark yourself as a third person, somebody who loves you. A young man approached me who was a software engineer. He wanted to move into a product development role, which involves being far more confident about leadership and communication skills, which he lacked. He showed me his CV and it read like a begging letter. Please take me on. And I said to him, look, this is terrible. You're much better than this. You don't need to beg. Write this CV as if it was your mother telling a mother's group about their son and the amazing things that he's done at work. He's invented the internet. He was the first mobile engineer in the whole of Australia. Ham it right up, and just when you think it's too hammed up, go a bit further, you'll be surprised. You'll be able to tell a beautiful story about yourself and what you've achieved through the eyes of somebody that loves you. Pretend to be your own mother, marking yourself and saying, hey, come on, Dean, you're absolutely fantastic at that. And really force yourself to be honest and truthful about what you're good at.